Alright, so picture this. You're in Los Angeles, minding your own business, enjoying your avocado toast and complaining about traffic. Suddenly you hear a loud, brash voice shouting from across the country. It's yelling, "Hey, you, we're moving in!" That's basically what just happened. The New York Post, the loudest, boldest, most unapologetic tabloid in America, has decided to pack its bags and head to California. It's like your most chaotic cousin from New York showing up on your doorstep with 3 suitcases and no return ticket. They're not just visiting, they're launching the California Post. And they promise to be just as noisy as their East Coast counterpart. It's a culture clash waiting to happen, a collision of worlds. This move is a massive surprise, a real head-scratcher for a lot of people. Think about it. New York and Los Angeles are like 2 siblings who couldn't be more different. One is all about brisk walks, black coffee, and yelling at pigeons. The other is about green juice, yoga, and politely asking your Uber driver to turn down the podcast. The New York Post is famous for its in-your-face headlines and its "we said what we said" attitude. Now, it's trying to bring that same energy to the land of wellness retreats and chill vibes. Can you imagine? It's like a hot dog vendor setting up shop in the middle of a vegan festival. Something's gotta give, right? The big question everyone is asking is, why? Why now? Why California? Well, the folks behind the Post see an opportunity, a giant gaping hole in the LA media scene. They look at Los Angeles and see a city full of stories, a place overflowing with celebrities, politicians, and enough drama to fuel 1,000 soap operas. Yet they believe the current news landscape is, to put it nicely, a bit sleepy. It's like a party with a terrible DJ, and the Post wants to crash it, jump on the tables, and start a conga line. They think LA is ready for a wake-up call, and they brought the loudest alarm clock they could find. So here we are on August 4th, 2025. Witnessing the birth of a media experiment. The California Post is officially here, promising to shake things up. They want to be the paper you grab for free on your way to work, the website you click on for a laugh, and the voice that says what everyone else is only thinking. It's a bold gamble, a high-stakes bet that a New York state of mind can thrive under the California sun. Will it be a glorious success or a spectacular failure? Either way, you just know the headlines are going to be fantastic. Grab your popcorn, folks, because this is going to be a show. So what made the Post think this was a good idea? It all starts with the local news situation in Los Angeles. To be blunt, it's been having a tough time. The once mighty Los Angeles Times, the city's legacy newspaper, has been going through some serious drama. We're talking budget cuts, layoffs, and a general feeling of doom and gloom that even a perfect LA sunset can't fix. It's like watching a heavyweight champion who's been stumbling around the ring for a few rounds. The paper is still respected, but it's lost some of its punch, leaving a void for something new, something different, something louder. This decline in local journalism has created what some people call a news desert, which is a fancy way of saying it's getting harder to find out what's actually happening in your own city. When the big papers shrink, the little stories get lost. The city council scandals, the neighborhood controversies, the weird guy who trains squirrels to juggle, all of it fades away. The New York Post parent company, News Corp, saw this and basically said, "Hold my beer." They see a city of millions hungry for news, a massive audience that isn't being served the spicy, sensational stories they secretly crave, and when it comes to serving up spice, nobody does it like the Post. The team they've assembled for this mission is a who's who of tabloid veterans. Leading the charge is Troy Searer, who knows a thing or two about grabbing attention. These aren't people who write quiet, thoughtful essays on the meaning of life. These are people who live for the screaming headline, the shocking photo, the juicy scoop that gets everyone talking. They've been trained in the art of tabloid warfare, in the cutthroat media markets of New York and London. They're bringing that killer instinct to a city that's more accustomed to gentle suggestion. It's like bringing a pack of wolves to a dog park. Things are about to get interesting. Their business model is also a throwback, but with a modern twist. The plan is to give away a free print edition every day, targeting commuters and busy Angelinos. At the same time, they're going all in on digital, pushing stories online and across social media. The whole operation is designed to be lean, fast, and heavily reliant on advertising. They're betting that in a city obsessed with celebrity and spectacle, they can capture enough eyeballs to make the advertisers happy. It's a risky strategy for sure. Free print papers have been dying out for years, but the Post believes their content will be so irresistible that people won't be able to look away. So what kind of stories can you expect from the California Post? Well, if you're hoping for long, meditative pieces on urban planning, you might be disappointed. Their content strategy is pure, unadulterated tabloid gold. First and foremost, expect a heavy dose of celebrity gossip. We're talking about who's dating who's feuding with who, and which movie star was spotted buying discount groceries. They're not just going to report on the red carpet, they're going to be digging through the trash behind the red carpet. Their headlines will be catchy, punny, and probably a little bit mean. Imagine something like Bezos's yacht is bigger than your apartment and your dreams, but it's not all Hollywood glitz. The Post is promising to bring its signature style to politics and local news too. They plan to have strong, loud, and often controversial opinion columnists who aren't afraid to stir the pot. They want to inject a sense of urgency and conflict into everything, from the mayor's office to the water board. While other papers might write a headline like "City Council debates new zoning ordinance," the Post is more likely to go with something like "Your neighbor wants to build a monstrosity and the mayor is letting him." It's journalism designed to get a reaction, to make you laugh or to make you angry. And let's not forget about sports. Los Angeles is a city of champions, with iconic teams like the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the Rams. The Post plans to cover them with the same passion and intensity as its New York counterpart covers the Yankees and the Giants. Expect bold predictions, savage takedowns of struggling players, and celebrations of victory that border on hysteria. They won't just report the score, they'll tell you who the heroes and villains are. They want to be the voice of the fans screaming from the cheap seats, the one who loves their team but isn't afraid to call them out when they mess up. The timing of this launch is, you could say, suspiciously perfect. California is gearing up for a wild few years. There's a major election on the horizon, which is always a goldmine for dramatic stories and political mudslinging. Plus, the city is preparing to host massive international events, which will bring the world's attention and its celebrities to S doorstep. The Post is positioning itself to be the go-to source for all the chaos, the scandals, and the spectacle. It's like they showed up to the party right as someone was about to spike the punch. They are ready for the madness to begin. Of course, not everyone is convinced this is going to work. Media experts are looking at this whole thing with a healthy dose of skepticism. For every person excited about a new voice in town, there's another who thinks this is a train wreck in the making. The main argument against the California Post is that its aggressive, confrontational style just won't fly, and laid-back LA Californians, the thinking goes, prefer a more nuanced, less shouty approach to their news. They might find the Post's brand of humor to be more abrasive than amusing. It's a valid concern. Is Los Angeles really ready for New York-level snark? The risks are huge. The Post is investing millions of dollars into a project that could easily fall flat on its face. The advertising market is tough, and getting people to pick up a free newspaper in 2025 is a challenge in itself. If readers don't connect with the tone, or if the stories feel too imported and not authentically Californian, the whole thing could fizzle out fast. It could become a punchline, another failed East Coast venture that just didn't get LA. The media landscape is littered with the ghosts of ambitious projects that couldn't find an audience, and the Post is walking right into that graveyard. However, the Post's leadership is confident. They argue that they're not just copy-pasting their New York formula. Their mission, they claim, is to blend hard-hitting investigative reporting with that signature tabloid humor. They believe that people everywhere, whether in New York or Los Angeles, appreciate a story that is both informative and entertaining. They want to be the paper that can expose a corrupt official on page 1 and make you laugh with a silly celebrity story on page 6. They believe that underneath the calm Zen exterior, Angelenos are just as hungry for gossip, outrage, and fun as anyone else. So what's the final verdict? Will the California Post become a beloved part of the LA landscape, or will it be just another silly headline that fades away? Can this brash, loud, and funny style of journalism find a home in a city known for its sunshine and smoothies, or will it be rejected like an organ transplant from an incompatible donor? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, Los Angeles just got a whole lot more interesting. The show is just beginning, and whether it ends in a standing ovation or a chorus of boos, it promises to be anything but boring. Like and subscribe for more news. Credit to the Objective Observer for you.